there are so many things that now our politicians and our city politicians, state politicians, just cannot figure out. And I brought together two of the only minds that I can pick on this morning and see if we can get something out of their brain. So, they're not scholars, but they have mouths. So here they are, Stu and Pat, to join me on this really fact-finding mission. Blue ribbon panel, you would really say. So there's a problem in grocery stores, and it's that prices are too high, and people are having a hard time making ends meet, and so the president is doing something about it. And yesterday, he talked about the people who are suffering from high inflation, and he called out the villain in this whole thing. What is the cause of grocery stores charging more for their products?
I would say inflation due to government spending.
Okay, now remember, this is not an educated panel. None of us have doctorates or degrees or anything else. Okay, Pat.
I was gonna guess maybe the high cost of gasoline because the food is being delivered and it costs more to deliver it.
Okay, all right. So just the cost of everything that has gone up. Okay, no, I'm sorry, you're both wrong. It is the grocery store. Abusing and overcharging their shoppers. So that's according to President.
Really?
That's
wow.
Yeah, according to President Biden. So all right. Now here's another mystery.
Okay.
There is an uptick in Washington State of car thefts. It's up over 500%. It's 503% increase in car thefts in Washington State. They can't figure out exactly. I mean, they have a theory, but I want to see if it's the same theory that you guys have. What is causing the uptick of car thefts in Washington State?
Is it rampant crime brought on by maybe too light of sentences that are dished out to felons?
Okay, that's a good guess, I guess.
What about economic desperation by the citizens of these communities where the economy's been ruined?
Wow, okay. No, you guys aren't even... No, it is the fault of Hyundai and Kia. And they're considering
the car
issuing
companies?
Yeah, the state would like it to have the federal government force them to recall all of those cars because they're just too easy to break into.
Really? Because I've walked by cars and lots that have their windows open, and I don't steal them, even though they probably would be easy to steal. But I don't do that because I don't want to commit crimes. Yeah.
Well, it's not a crime if you're just sharing everything. We're just sharing.
Okay. Also, what kind of Pollyanna are you? I mean, that doesn't even make sense, Stu.
Really?
You don't want to steal the car.
Really?
Right.
It's better with you.
Okay. And by the way, it also has done that. Let me just tap down this disinformation here. The new state law in Washington that limits police pursuits that took place, that has nothing to do with it. It is the car manufacturer, and again, it is the grocery store. So we're on, we're not batting 1,000 here. In fact, we're not batting anything. We're striking out. Now, pharmacy closure in a, quote, crime-ridden neighborhood in Boston. What is causing this in Boston?
Well, you said it, the crime-ridden neighborhood, right? If these people who are working at the stores had their stuff stolen, that the employees are threatened.
Do you have any? I mean, Pat, do you have anything that you could throw on? I mean, this guy didn't really.
Did they run out of
pharmaceuticals?
Maybe they didn't have enough.
But that's a good guess. That's a good guess. But it's
we do
racism.
have massive shortages. What was it, Glenn?
Yeah, no, it's just racism. It's racism.
Oh, wow.
It's racism.
So they don't like to take money from black people in this particular pharmacy, or
Ariana Presley from Massachusetts said that it's not the criminal elements that are directly responsible, or the leftists that champion the unrest in the streets and everything else. It's the businesses themselves that are pulling up the stakes not because of ruin, but because of racism. And I don't think she needed to explain any more than that, any deeper.
Well, it's important to know what Ariana Presley has to say, because I think she's the sister of Ayanna Presley, the congresswoman.
Yeah, and I love both of them. I really do. Now,
the whole Presley family is one of my favorites.
Elvis was great.
He was great.
Okay,
Priscilla.
so Denny's is now leaving Oakland. Now leaving Oakland.
My
They
gosh.
don't know why.
You know, Glenn, these healthy eating keto diets, people just aren't in the mood for pancakes
They're not
anymore, and that's why they have to leave.
Right.
Oakland,
No,
very healthy city.
Yeah, well, they have the Superbird, which is very healthy. If it wasn't for all the butter and everything else on it. But Pat, any...
I would, I'd have to guess, because I think you put your finger on it when you introduced this, in a high crime area. Is it all the crime that has caused them?
Why would you say that? Is it you're saying that because it's in a minority area? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was saying it because you mentioned it was a high crime neighborhood.
You have proved their point. It is racism.
Oh, wow.
Now, fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
Fentanyl. Apparently, drug use has gone through the roof, and overdose deaths from synthetic opioids driven by fentanyl has jumped 533% in Oregon. And what do you suppose caused that?
The rain. I think it was probably the rain. People are so
Good for
depressed
you.
by
See?
it
shows
by the
people can
weather
learn.
there in Oregon, that they've got to be on fentanyl to get through it.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say open borders, the China just manufacturing this stuff, seemingly targeting our people.
Oh, what's next? What's next? You're going to bring up that they, and they also legalized all drugs as well. I
was going to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah. My gosh. No. They still haven't found a reason for that one, but they're very concerned. They're very concerned about it. And by the way, those are not. It could be the rain.
So I could have been right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mystery at this point. Now, they're not really overdoses because these are illegal drugs. So it's not like, hey, man, I got some fentanyl for you. I got it at the pharmacy as they were giving their big going out of business sale. Okay, a lot of these are drugs that are just laced with fentanyl. This would be called not a drug, but poison, which would then make the people selling that and bringing it across the border murderers, not overprescribers. So I just, again, it's an old tiny
theory.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a doctor, but they're not a doctor. So, so we don't really know if that's true at all. Does it get to a point at any time where people just stand up and go, "This is bullcrap"? For instance, yesterday, did you see Joe Biden working and consoling the parents of people who have lost a family member, Gold Star families? And he actually again said, I understand what you're going through. My son died in Iraq. And nobody said anything. And I thought to myself, when will a Gold Star family say, Mr. President, your son died in a hospital in America from cancer, not from being wounded or killed in Iraq. He died of cancer. Don't insult us. When is somebody going to just say that to him?
How can it not have? I mean, we've heard some rumblings that these families have been upset, but I don't think
After the fact.
after the fact.
Oh, after the fact.
Yeah.
I want somebody
it needs to be said to his
face.
face. It needs to be.
And I will say this: like we can put this on Gold Star families if we want. I mean, they're dealing with very difficult things.
No.
But how about a damn journalist?
Yeah,
asking
somebody.
it? How about next time you get Joe Biden for a sit-down interview, your first question is, why do you keep saying your son died in Iraq?
Yeah. And let's say this too. Even if he had died in Iraq, it's not about you.
Right.
It's not about you. And he makes it about him every single time.
Incorrectly.
Time.
You could say, I know, I can imagine what you're going through. I lost my son at an early age as well. It was from cancer, but I know
and that would be appropriate.
It doesn't compare, and that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
But to say your son died in Iraq, and I know how you're feeling, it is so insulting.
It's incomprehensible
So
he's
insulting.
not getting called out by this. I mean, every single like he keeps doing it. How many of these
over and over
stories,
and over.
Pat, we went over this one day. How many stories has this guy told that the mainstream media has corrected numerous times?
Yes.
But they don't ask him about it. They don't go to him and
Never.
say, Mr. President, you keep telling a story about your Amtrak experience that everyone knows is false. Why do you keep doing it?
Right. The Xi Jinping story that he tells over and over and over. Not true.
But you know what? Those, to me, don't matter as much as
No, it's true.
As the Gold Star family.
As the Gold Star family. That one is just so unbelievably callous and offensive.
Despicable.
That and it wouldn't be the same as a journalist saying that to his face as it would be a grieving father or mother who he mutters that to. I mean, I think America would cheer at that. I really do. I really do. The media wouldn't, but I think Americans would say, good.
Yeah.
Good. He deserved that.
Somebody finally
he
said
deserved
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.